This is Sierra and welcome to another video. Today, in this video, I'm going to be reading Chapter 17 of Hermitcraft Freedom. Skizz's perspective this time around. Yeah, seems to be a favorite. Maybe. I don't know. People like Skizz, other people, Most people's favorite is green. That makes sense. But, yeah. But yeah, this is a perspective from Skizz. Takes place, there'll be some spoilers up ahead and some teases, let's just say. Let's see if any of you can figure it out, but if you don't, tune in next week. Let's go. Yeah, and the next video will be available in the description when the video is up, of course. You won't have to wait long. If you rather could just go there, you could, because it is Korean, I believe. Yeah, that makes sense. So, Korean is next week, so if you want to wait a whole week or it's just there, you could. I don't care. But let's watch the entire video first. That would be awesome for me. So, let's get right into the video. Skizz stepped back from one of the spare beds he'd been making. Haley had asked him to make the beds that Henry and Charlie had been using, just in case. Unease simmered within as he stared down at the bed. Would they have enough room? Should he craft more beds, just to make sure? You'll figure it out. You always do. A woman's voice spoke. He turned. Spuddy, Lyra, Kimberly, Kate's mother. Skizz and Kate had been spending time with her when Clara had gotten them. You barely know me, Skizz admitted, going over to the second bed. I know, but I still think it'll be fine. Skizz chuckled. You up for lending a hand if Haley needs it? Of course, she replied. It's good to see you doing better, Skizz said. We do what we can. Sometimes that's not what we want, but we can't control everything. Skizz smirked. People still try. People do, but eventually it will fall apart. Maybe. Skizz nodded, fluffing the pillow, resting against the headboard, and resting it against that board. I forgot a word. Do you think we have enough beds? We might do, Lyra stated. I don't think Clara, Matthias, or Julius would mind if they had to give up their beds. Would you? I would, if I had to. Skizz smiled. Of course. Skizz turned at the sound of a door opening, as he frowned. Was that the front door or the back? Feet pitter-pattered on the floor as he left the bed and went toward the hallway. Jem's back, Beat-Ups reported, his gray eyes wide. Pearl just ran out the door to greet her. Is everything okay? Beat-Ups frowned, looking out the window. Looking out the door. We might need one of those beds. Hang on. Skizz jogged through the door. That comma is supposed to be a period. I repeat, that comma is supposed to be a period. Skizz jogged through the door, spotting Jem and Pearl at the front gate. My hands are shaking. Jem was gasping for breath, while Pearl was keeping her steady. The young hermit had something in her arms. As he came closer, his eyes widened. No, wasn't something. Someone. What happened? I don't know, Jem coughed, staggering forward. Aiden and David are dead. Sam and False are missing. We found Aaron like this. Claire told me. Jem's cheeks were soaked with tears as he reached out to take the girl from her. You get some rest. We can handle this. I don't know if she'll make it, Jem sniffed, as Pearl pulled her close into a side hug. We'll try our best, Skizz replied. Haley will make sure of that. Jem nodded as the older hermit turned and ran for the base. Beat-Ups was watching him approach, eyes wide. What happened? Beat-Ups stammered when Skizz got to the door. I don't know, Could you ask Kate to see if Gerald might enlighten us? I can do that. Beat-Up straightened before disappearing into the main room. Skizz rushed down the hallway, keeping a firm grip on Erin, not wanting to drop her. He made it to the bedroom, spotting Haley and Eliza waiting for him. Lay her down here. Haley pointed at the bed closest to them. Skizz ran up to them, gently laying the girl onto the bed. Oh, that doesn't look good. It doesn't, Skizz agreed, seeing the girl's the girl's badly burned face. The burn stretched down to her chest, a towel covering her torso. I hope you have some spare clothes. We've got it, Haley stated confidently. You should probably give us some privacy. Good luck, Skizz nodded quickly before leaving the bedroom, closing the door behind him. You could hear soft murmurs of voices as he followed the sound to the meeting area. Jem and Kate were sitting on the couch, just under the curtain window. Pearl sat in an armchair close by, her teal eyes never wavering from Jem. Jem had pulled something out of her pocket, a framed photograph. Kate, looking over her shoulder, a sad expression on her face. This doesn't make sense, Jem sniffed, shaking her head. They were only kids. Children. I don't know, Kate said quietly. Aiden seemed pretty cool. This wouldn't have happened if we hadn't asked Caden for interns, Jem sighed. Sam needed help. He wouldn't have been able to do it on his own, Pearl said simply. He had a lot to carry. It was the right thing to do. It's not our fault those men went after them. I'll have to see that. Jem bit her bottom lip. To see them take innocent lives. Erin's still with us. Erin's still with us, Skizz said quickly, taking a seat across from Pearl. Haley and Lila are with her. Jem nodded. We don't know if she'll make it. Not even Clara knew for sure. Then she would have died to protect others, protecting False, Kate insisted. She's a hero. We won't forget her. Or any of them. But they still have False, Jem whispered. They may have the others too. Green, Impulse, Sam, Liam, Blake. Find them. There has to be a way. Skizz snapped his fingers. We could try reaching them from the dream world, Pearl offered. Would that work? Jem looked over at her. If we work together, we might just be able to push through the barrier. Jem nodded. It's worth a shot, but none of us know how to do it. Not like Impulse. If you want it enough, it will happen. Kate smiled. Right, Jem whispered, looking down at the photo again. You have to try. The rest of the day dragged on. The sun was setting as Skizz put another batch of potions in a sugar box. Beat-Ups was at the table and chair in the corner, fiddling with the communicator to house the null. Jem was sitting on the couch, checking the window every now and then. Any luck? Skizz abandoned the smaller brewing station as he stood behind his friend. Beat-Up sighed. I just don't get it. It looks so simple, but I can't make heads or tails of it. You'll figure it out, Skizz encouraged. Beat-Ups nodded, turning to look up at the hermit. It's not hard to understand. We just can't get in. We could always ask for more help. Skizz leaned against the table edge. Ethan might be able to lend a hand. Ethan hasn't actually made a in-person cameo, by the way. I don't think. Just a name reference. So, you guys wanted enough. Maybe. He's probably busy. Beat-Up's shoulders slumped. Pretty much everyone is reworking the security at the bases after what happened at False's. Erin's doing better, at least, Jem admitted softly. That's good, Skizz said. We just need to keep the ball rolling. Jim glanced out the window again. How much longer should we wait before sending someone to check on them? It's hardly night yet, Isaac replied from the hallway. I'll try to call once the sun's down. Okay, Jim said, looking away from the window. They're two of the best at what they do, Isaac said simply. It would have to be big if something happened to them. Like at Fals's? Kate asked, appearing behind the teen. Her expression was grim. We don't know what happened, Skizz pointed out. The younger teen shook her head. I used to head back to scan errands and memories. It was bad. Oh. Jim gulped, putting a hand up to her mouth. I'm so sorry. Kate shrugged. Gerald would have gloated about it anyway. He sure seemed pleased with my reaction when I saw the memories. Well, he's a jerk. He's not worth your time, Skizz snapped. Kate chuckled. One day at a time. He won't tell me anything. You could search his memories, right? Jim asked. Kate bit her bottom lip. They both are and aren't mine. I can only access other hosts' memories. Yeah, that's right, spell check. If I'm asleep. I never tried it when I was awake, she hesitated. Think it might help finding the others? If our adventure in the dream world is a bust tonight, we'll need more options. Jim straightened. Kate nodded. I'll try. Believe me, I will. Good. A muffled clang adjusted Skizz's attention to the window. 4 shadowy figures were walking through the front gate that led to the fortress. He rose to his feet, dashing toward the door, Jim and Kate following a few moments later. The older hermit yanked the door open, eyes wide, as he took in their visitors. Wait, they're back already? Kate frowned, her brows furrowed, as she stood just behind Skizz, looking over his shoulder. Sure enough, Matthias and Clara walked toward the trio. Impulse and Green were behind them, walking stiffly, straight as a stick. Their eyes looked blank, empty. But Skizz guessed they were still adjusting to what had just happened to them. But what happened? Where had they been? Dibbledop? Skizz choked out, pushing himself away from the door and running at his best friend. He tackled his friend into a firm hug. Impulse stiffened from the gesture, but Skizz didn't care. His best friend was okay. He was safe. That was all that mattered. He pulled away, looking his friend up and down. What happened to you, buddy? How did you get out? We found these two wandering near false space, Matthias said matter-of-factly. So they were close? Jim asked, looking at her protector, concern on her expression. I'll send out a team to search near Falsos and Mumbo's bases to see if we can find anything, Matthias replied. Blake and the Jameses are still missing, along with False. Could you report to your friends to keep an eye out? Of course, Jim nodded, turning her attention to the new arrivals, grabbing Green by the arm. Come on, you two should get some rest. We'll talk later, okay? Impulse and Green nodded stiffly as they followed her toward the secret base. Skizz frowned, watching his friends enter the base. How bad could it have been to leave them both speechless? There was not a mark on them, no sign that they had been through pain. Had the defectors only been after the boy set? Then what stopped Impulse and Green from following them? He shook the thoughts from his mind. It didn't matter now. His friends were safe. They would find the boys and False. They'd stop those defectors one way or another, and if they did anything to his friends, he'd make sure they paid the price. You coming? Clara broke him away from his thoughts. She was standing by the front door, watching him. Of course I'm coming. Skizz exhaled, following the protectors into the fortress. It's certainly been a wild and strange day, but things would get better. They had to. Yeah, I slowed down on purpose. Something's coming. Yeah. But that's going to be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and yeah, next week we've got Green on the docket, and that'll be fun, answering some of the questions from this episode. So be sure to tune in there, and at least answering a little bit more, but full answer won't come until much later in the story. But it might seem familiar to some people if they know what to look for. But I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!